So English teams have really stepped up in the European stage in the 2020s, but a lot of fans will know it wasn't always like this. If you remember the 2010s, the 2010s is when Spanish clubs ran roughshod over Europe. But what's changed in the 2020s? Number one is that the more money heavy that European football gets, the more it advantages the English clubs. Now, the English Premier League has a unprecedented TV deal in amongst European leagues amongst their clubs. So basically, anyone in the Premier League benefits greatly from being in it. Versus some other, big European leagues where the TV rights are not quite the same, and only some teams will benefit from it. So they will do good individually, but the rest of the league will suffer. Maybe because there's not enough money in the league, the TV deals are unequal, or every team's just kind of doing their own thing with TV. So now you can get a team that's usually mid-table in their own league in England most of the time, or it just cracks above top 10. But you put them in Europe, suddenly they're beasts because they have insane resources, extremely good players, etc., etc. Versus the mid-level teams of their rivals in Europe don't have as much of that. The next thing is that I think English clubs have really got their heads out of their own asses because with that financial superiority and that financial advantage, and the UK being kind of the home of association football, there's this perception that their way is the best. Had the same attitude, about the World Cup and the national team stage before they were humiliated in 1950 by the United States, and they sort of locked in, and then by 1966 they had actually won the World Cup. So my theory is that the English football, despite its financial advantages, had to open up tactically and culturally, you know what I mean, to different ways of doing things. And another thing that I think plays into this is that more, former Premier League players or high-level British players are willing to go outside of the Premier League bubble. But I'm talking about the Premier League level and the upper championship level, the teams that yo-yo up and down all the time. And being in the Premier League is almost as lucrative for a team in 19th place as it is for, like Man City and Arsenal and Chelsea towards the top. And as long as that system stays, any uncertainties in the world outside of football that will affect football will affect England less because they're working together in a way. As money continues to influence high-level football, we'll see what the other leagues, how the other major leagues respond. They're going to have to lock in, for lack of a better word. Thank you for watching.